The season really went down for the New York Jets last year when Jermaine Johnson blew out his Achilles in week 2 against the Tennessee Titans. But we now have an update on when he's expected to return. Plus, there is a looming contract decision by the Jets this offseason on Jermaine Johnson. We'll debate it. Let's go.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. As you come on in on YouTube, like the video, hit subscribe. We're continuing to do some awesome giveaways here on the channel, both for free subscribers and also for those who join the Boy Green Coffee Club, which is our YouTube membership group. We're getting closer and closer to 7,500 subscribers, baby, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below, so feel free, and let's roll. Jermaine Johnson. And we'll start off with a clip here. Jermaine Johnson blew out his Achilles in week 2. It was terrible. Had to be carted off the field. An absolute disaster. And the Jets defensive line, we talked about this earlier in the week, but the destruction of the Jets defensive line was a rotting part of the Jets body, and it spread to the rest of the team. That's what I truly believe in every fiber of my being, that was supposed to be the strength of the team. It wasn't, and then everything collapsed after that, and it was a disaster. But Jermaine Johnson blew out that Achilles, and he is expected back by OTAs, people. Unbelievable. OTAs are set to start in earnest in May, and Jermaine Johnson expects to be fully ready for that. He confirmed that to Brian Costello of the New York Post. Jermaine Johnson and Quincy Williams were down there at the Senior Bowl promoting their sponsor, Bounty paper towels, and they were down there sponsoring it, and they were answering a bunch of questions. And I just have to say that Jermaine Johnson has an elite mentality. I wish the Jets could have 100 Jermaine Johnsons on the team. He was, you'll hear this clip I'm about to bring up. This is down on Super Bowl Media Row on Pro Football Talk Live, PFT Live, where Jermaine Johnson is asked about, this comeback of the Jets and everything else, and he gave some really inspiring answers. Let's roll the footage. Here's Jermaine Johnson again on PFT Live.
Hey, Jermaine, you had the Pro Bowl season in 23, the torn Achilles last year. Where's everything stand with the recovery from that? Because that's not an easy thing to come back from.
I mean, how I look at it anyway, throw the Pro Bowl season in the trash. I got to restart. That's how it's going into 2024 anyway. You got to earn success. It's rented. It's not one purchase and you're successful. You got to rent it. So my mindset was coming to earn it again anyway. Cool. Popped an Achilles, first major injury. Let's earn it again. I've been through so much on my journey here, and I didn't come this far to be an average player or to make the Pro Bowl one time.
Yeah.
I came here to help my teammates win the Super Bowl, and then I believe, and I talked to AG about this, if you put the team first and you play the game the right way, you're going to get back tenfold. That's what you're supposed to get.
Right.
So I'm not worried about none of the Pro Bowl and all of that. If I do this game the right way and I play it how I've always played it, all that will handle itself.
How do you guys think?
And there you go. That is Jermaine Johnson there on coming back. And speaking of earning it, let's do this real quick, baby. MFC, before the show started, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let's freaking go, chew. Oh, yeah, you love to see it, baby, right off the top rope. That went to Mike Ferraro. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. A shout out to MFC, who got a raffle ticket for our big contest that's coming up at the end of the month. You guys can continue to punch in your raffle tickets for this wonderful contest. Again, I'll throw it up here on the screen. This is what you guys are vying for, baby. A New York Jets signature football. It's a full-size NFL football. It ships deflated, but it comes with a stand. I have it right here behind me. It comes with a stand and a pump. It's great for the office, man cave. It's awesome. It's got Aaron Rodgers' signature on it. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Olu Fashanu, all kinds of wonderful players for the team this year, which is really cool. A New York Jets Nike Salute to Service long sleeve and that custom laser engraving package of Boy Green and Jets logos all merged together on a variety of items. One lucky winner will win that. And to have a chance to win this prize, you just have to enter the contest by purchasing a Boy Green Coffee Club membership for yourself or for your fellow viewer. Or you can also send in super chats as well. Again, the raffle tickets are $2.99 a piece. So if you send in finances that are shorter than that, we'll continue to add it up throughout this entire process. So MFC, we appreciate you, baby. Thank you for sharing the love. God bless, baby. But back here on Jermaine Johnson real quick. He is a guy that I wish we, again, had 1,000 of on the team. He just has an elite mentality. He doesn't care about the Pro Bowl, doesn't care about this. He just cares about earning it again every year. That's just a super inspiring message. And here's the thing, as we're talking about this, as we kind of put all this together. What do we do with Jermaine Johnson for his future? First off, what do we expect in 2025? This is an older guy because of his college path. He's 26 years of age. So he's got a unique path to the NFL with all of the different stops and turns in college, which gets us through to his career now. The Jets in early May have to decide on his fifth-year option. Do they accept it or decline it? Here are all the variables. If the Jets decline Jermaine Johnson's fifth-year option, after this upcoming season, he's a free agent. If they accept it, they have Jermaine Johnson under contract for 2 seasons, 2025 and 2026. Now, that option, for folks who don't know, and you may be unaware of this statistical nugget, this is a big contract option for Jermaine Johnson that is fully guaranteed. It used to be only guaranteed for injury. That is no longer the case. It is a $14.73 million fully guaranteed option. And that option's worth is that ranks that option alone. So it's not this season, it's for next season. That would rank number 19 among the highest paid pass rushers in football, that number, that fully guaranteed number. Are the Jets going to accept it? NC says, of course, they will accept it. And from some of the conversations I've had with team insiders, that's not a guarantee. It's because the Jets, first off, for a variety of reasons, it's not guaranteed. It's a new regime coming in. So the regime that loved Jermaine Johnson and traded up to get him are no longer employed by one Jets drive. So that's number one. Number two, he's an older player. I mentioned 26. Okay. He's coming off of a torn Achilles. And a torn Achilles for Aaron Rodgers versus a torn Achilles for a pass rusher are massively different. Massively different. So is he going to be the same player coming off it? I have no idea. I love the words he's saying, but I'm not sure if he's going to come back immediately from that. And again, the number is fully guaranteed. So NC Green says, of course they're going to accept it. Based on team insider I've been speaking with, not as much of a guarantee. I'm not saying it's a clear lock he won't. I'm just saying it's in question. We don't know. Absolutely, we have no idea. Now I'll put it on here. Let's. I'll make that the poll right now. We'll put that up here on here. Would you accept the fifth-year option on Jermaine Johnson? Let's put that up here. Let me put that up on YouTube. Would you accept the $14.73 million fully guaranteed? Would you pick up, rather? I'll put it that way. Would you pick up the $14.73 fully guaranteed fifth-year option on Jermaine Johnson? Maybe NC Green will be right, and all the fans will say, obviously, man. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see. Let's put that out to the fans. We'll see what everyone says. And that is for 2026, because obviously he's already under contract for 2025. So I just put up that poll. Go ahead and vote on it. Would you pick up the $14.73 million fully guaranteed fifth-year option on Jermaine Johnson's contract? I think some of you are going to be, now maybe it's all going to be all of it, of people jumping in here and saying yes. I want him. Let me make that clear for my position. I like laying all the facts on the plate, and then we can judge it and weigh pros and cons and walk through the process. For me, I'd love to have him. Like I said, I think he has an elite mentality. I think those are the kind of dogs you want in the room, and that's good. It's important to have those kind of players in, and he's really talented, obviously. In his short career so far, in 2 years and a little bit of change, it's 3 years officially on the books, but in 2 years and change, Jermaine Johnson has shown a lot of chutzpah. He has 10 sacks, 21 quarterback hits, 7 pass deflections, and he had that crazy-ass pick 6 against the Browns. And he had that 1 Pro Bowl berth. He is a uber-talented player. I think he's got an unbelievable ceiling, and with AG, I think Aaron Glenn could probably get another level out of him, quite frankly. And obviously, Jermaine is totally, motivated and everything else. And like I said, he has the right mentality. Yeah, June says that's a lot of bread, and it is. Folks, this is a fully guaranteed number. This is on top of what he's set to make here in the 2025 season. That's a lot of scratch. A lot of scratch for a guy that you have no idea how he's going to come off the torn Achilles. So for everyone that just says accept, and again, I'm for the accept train, but I'm just saying for those people, right? Let's say, because you have to make that decision before you see him. Before you even really see him in OTA practices, because the first couple in April are like meetings. Like around April 18th, 19th, 20th, when the players show up, they're just kind of doing meetings, and AG's doing it, like a version of his introductory press conference. Like, it's a lot of meat and potatoes. This decision has to be made, as Zoink Nation asks, in early May. Last year is May 2nd, so it's somewhere in that range. I don't have it in front of me, but it's early May. So before you even see him on the OTA practice field, you have to decide on this $14.73 million fully guaranteed number. That is fully guaranteed no matter what. So if you accept that, even if Jermaine is looking questionable coming off the Achilles, you still owe him that money. That's what I'm saying. That's what complicates the decision. You're not going to be able to see him. So you have to just go, well, you're gonna know his rehab process because you're the Jets. So you're going to know his rehab process right now and what he's gone through since the surgery last year to where we are now. You will know that information, but you won't know beyond that. Put him on the practice field and see him. You will not know that information. J-Boy says it's crazy how many Jet fans hate re-signing homegrown players. And again, to me, I have no hate. Let me throw it up here on the screen. Right now, it's a 76% yes for Jermaine Johnson that accept that option. Again, I want the Jets to re-sign all these. I'd love Brees back. I'd love Sauce back. I'd love Garrett. It's a first world problem. We haven't had, here's the problem from the past couple of years, like, a large chunk of the 2010s. We haven't had people worth re-signing. So then they would just hit free agency and no one would want them. And then that's it. The Jets were terrible at drafting. But now we got a first world problem where, we have a slew of guys we'd love to retain. A slew of guys that we'd like to bring in and keep long-term. And I would love it because, like I said, I think Jermaine has an elite mentality. He plays a premium position, obviously, as a pass rusher. I'd be curious, again, how he's going to fit in the Steve Wilks scheme or the Aaron Glenn schematics, how they all kind of work together in the lab and figure out what's going to be on there. And that's another great point from MFC. He's good against the run, too. So the pass rush obviously is there, but he's good against there, too. And look at June, the GM. We'll throw this up here. I can't justify paying him that amount coming off a major injury. This is business. It's not about liking someone. That's from June. He would decline the fifth-year option. Again, it's a difficult conversation. Here are the other complicating factors here. You only get one franchise tag. So let's say this. Let's play out everything here. Okay. Let's say the Jets decline the fifth-year option, Jermaine. They're like, boy, they say what June says. Boy, that's a lot of scratch. We have no idea how he's going to come off. And hell, we didn't even draft this guy. Decline the option, right? Which, again, means he would play out 2025 like normal. He's under contract. And then after this upcoming season, he would be a free agent. And let's say Jermaine kills it, right? They decline the fifth-year option, and Jermaine kills it in 2025. He's awesome. He's a double-digit sack pass rusher. And the Jets go, oh, shit. Well, we want to keep this guy. And now, you get into that very difficult position. Oh, do we pay this guy? Do we not pay this guy? Do we franchise tag him? You only have one franchise tag. So if you choose to use that on Jermaine, you can't use it on Brees. You see what I mean? And then we get into all the complicating factors. Here's an example, right? Here's something that happened. I'm pretty sure, and let me confirm this before I say this example. Right. I just want to confirm. Okay, yeah, perfect. So here's my example I want to throw up. Okay? For declining it and how it can fail, just to what I just said. Daniel Jones, New York Giants. I was pretty sure, but I want to confirm. The Giants declined the fifth-year option on Daniel Jones. They're like, boy, I'm not so sure. And in year one under Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones has a career year. And then after the year, the Giants have to make a decision between Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. They're like, geez, we only have one franchise tag. We can't franchise tag them both. So we have to pick one and then give another a long-term deal, or we're going to lose one of them. That's what the Giants are weighing because they declined the fifth-year option for Daniel. He ends up having the best year of his career. And then the Giants are like, shit, now what do we do? Now, all cards on the table. I told the Giants to sign Saquon long-term and give Daniel Jones a franchise tag because Daniel Jones was the unproven one. I wanted to see a little bit more from Daniel Jones before I gave him a record-breaking contract if I was the Giants. That was what I said on the radio. They didn't listen to old Paulie. They gave the franchise tag to Saquon and signed Daniel Jones long-term, and that deal sucked. But that's neither here nor there. This is a Giants bash sesh. There'll be enough of that in the Super Bowl. Anywho, with Saquon Barkley. But no, in all seriousness, okay? That shows you how the decision can flop. If you decline it and shit goes wrong. Now, it could totally go the other way. You accept it, then all of a sudden, Jermaine re-injures himself. Again, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. Obviously, I don't wish injuries on anybody. But if he gets re-hurt, you're like, fuck. Now he's hurt for this year, and then we're stuck again in this whole cycle. So let's see what the poll is right now. So everyone's slamming it. 78%. Awesome. I'm just saying, I think this is more of a conversation that people are giving credit to. Absolutely no one is talking about this offseason. No one. Right? So I think some easy ones are Garrett's an easy accept. Obviously, he's been awesome. I think Sauce is an easy accept, despite what some people have said. I think that's an easy accept, the fifth-year option. Breece Hall is not a first-round pick, so he has no fifth-year option to accept or decline. And then you're left with Jermaine. And Jermaine's a tough one because of age, injury, and again, it's just a complicating factor. Maybe it won't be. Maybe AG says, I don't imagine AG is going to say this. We've had years where the GM has come out. For instance, the Quinnen Williams year on his fifth-year option, Joe Douglas, I think that was the year where he just said, yeah, we're accepting that. So then we just knew. Because, again, the decision technically is until early May. So at the Combine, AG doesn't have to answer anything. And if he's anything Bill Parcells like, he probably won't be volunteering free information, but we'll see what happens because he will be at the NFL Combine at the end of the month, I'm sure. And there's going to be media opportunities, and we'll see how they answer this. But this will be interesting. This will be very interesting on Jermaine Johnson. Again, make sure we got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Jermaine Johnson, again, is set to return for OTAs, which is awesome. What a quick recovery timeline. That's amazing to hear for Jermaine. He got hurt in week 2 against the Tennessee Titans, blew out his Achilles. He's been working hard like nobody's business. He's been documenting some of that journey on his own personal social media portals. I highly recommend checking out a lot of that. And then now he's going to be ready for the May practices. Again, the players will report like third week of April and do some meetings and sort of stuff of that nature. And then they'll really get on the practice field after the draft. You got rookie mini camp, and then you'll have the players reporting for OTAs, and then you'll have mandatory mini camp and all the jazz we already know about. But it's great to hear. Great to hear that Jermaine's going to be ready for that. Absolutely. All right, let's get to some questions here. Taylor Sterling here on YouTube. I have a feeling Shedeur Sanders is going to be there at 7. Do we do it? Well, I saw this in a mock draft scenario. Someone on NFL.com. I'll probably write up about this in the future. We've talked about the potential trading up and obviously what that would look like, the pros, cons, and everything. But Taylor, there's a chance that you're right. Now, my gut says no. I don't. Well, let me rephrase. My gut says no, he's not available because I believe the Giants would take him at 3. So I think even if the Titans went, again, there's a lot of combinations that can happen. Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter could be the first 2 picks off the board. Giants take their quarterback, and then the Raiders would get their guy at 6. So I really don't see any combination that he gets there. So I just want to put that out into the universe. But to your question, do we do it if we're the Jets at 7? How do you not strongly consider it? You have to think about it. You have to have an honest conversation with Tanner Engstrand. You have to have an honest conversation with your offensive room. Is he the guy? He was highly accurate at Colorado, far more accurate than Cam Ward. He had like a 74% completion percentage. Now, he got beat up a lot, too, behind that offensive line. Now, you would hope that's better with the Jets with 4 of our 5 under contract, but Shedeur is a highly intriguing player. Obviously, you have to be aware of the the big baller brand thing that's around. Is Deion Sanders going to be LeVar Ball all over him? God, I hope not. I think he'll be busy enough with his Colorado career. But all the extra hoopla that could come with being the son of Deion Sanders. Hell, would Deion even want him here? I would want him here. He's got Garrett Wilson and Brees and all these other guys. But I would just say this, Taylor. We would have to strongly consider it. Do we end up pulling the trigger? I'd like to know what else is on the board. Now, if Shedeur is still on the board, that means someone else that we expected to be on the board probably isn't, because they went outside the quarterback position. Because this still means that Cam Ward is off the board, but another really good positional player, was it Will Johnson? Was it Mason Graham? Was it Abdul Carter? Was it Travis Hunter? Who else was it? You could play the combination game. But I would strongly consider it, Taylor, to be honest. Yeah, Alan says, I think he's going to the Giants. That's my gut, too. My gut is Cam Ward probably goes within the first 2 picks, and then Shedeur goes 3 to the Giants. I guess I could see a world where Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are the first 2 picks off the draft, and then the Giants are totally taking a quarterback, one of the 2. And then, like I said, I still think the Raiders are there at 6, if I'm remembering my drafting right. Let me get Tankathon up here on the screen. I believe the Raiders are at 6, one spot ahead of us, and they are. I think the Giants are taking a quarterback no matter what. And I think the Raiders are taking a quarterback no matter what. So then those are the 2 that are gone. So that's why I don't think there's a path for one of those guys to get there. Yeah, Shedeur's young. Cam's young. They're all young. Yeah. So that would be interesting. Yeah, Shedeur could be a superstar. I don't know. NC Green, I love the draft day reference. Bo Callahan. Did anyone go to his birthday? Interesting. So he'd be an interesting player. It's an interesting conversation because obviously anything can happen in the draft. June said he would run up that card with 4.3 speed to turn that card in. Okay. Some people are Shedeur people. That's interesting. And Taylor says, I hope the Giants and Raiders don't let it happen. Yeah, I don't think it will. I think both of those guys are taking a quarterback. Jay Bush says, we act like Glenn is going to make it go 100% day 1 of OTA. Well, he wouldn't even, Jermaine Johnson wouldn't even be able to go. The Jets wouldn't make him go 100%. And again, that's day 1 of OTA, which is going to really be in May of practices. By then, you've already made the 5th-year option decision. So, yeah, that is relevant to the point. June says, remember, we're going to have to make decisions on Wilson, Hall, Sauce. Well, Hall, we don't have to make any decision on. I mean, he can talk to the Jets about an extension. That doesn't mean they have to do it. The option decisions are on Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, and the same thing. The Jets have to make a decision on both their 5th-year options by early May, and those to me are 2 easy ones. Boop boop. Yes. And you keep him under contract. Garrett's been awesome, obviously, has more receiving yards than any Jets receiver through the first 3 seasons in team history. Yeah, that's an accept. Sauce Gardner was a 2-time first-team All-Pro at corner. No other quarterback had done that since the merger in 1970. Yeah, that's an accept. At very, very important positions. Oh, yes. Those are easy. Jermaine's less easy. I like Jermaine a lot, though. I can't say that enough. He's a pass rusher. I'd love to see him and Will McDonald both being the starting pass rushers, whether there are wide 9 guys or whatever's happening. AG has been a 3-4 and a 4-3 guy, and Steve Wilkes has been a 4-3 and a 3-4 guy. So I don't know. Steve Wilkes has been primarily a 4-3 guy, so that's what I would imagine the defense goes, but not so sure. Why don't we do this? We got 400 people in the room. Let me catch up on any other comments I might have missed here real quick, and then we'll open up the phone lines here. Phil says, if Shador gets pushed down the draft, the quarterback needy teams pass on him, it's a red flag. Don't fall for it, Jets. It would be, again, if you've seen the movie Draft Day, one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time. When Bo Callahan is dropping, people are like, why the hell is Bo Callahan dropping? He's not supposed to be available. And sometimes you hear from teams that they don't do homework on the guys that they expect to go number one overall. So what's a good example? So the year Myles Garrett, because he's in the news, the year that Myles Garrett went number one overall, I imagine a lot of people that were at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 didn't do a lot of homework on Myles Garrett because they said, oh, well, he's not going to be available. He's going number one. And then the draft day is basically Bo Cowan, he's going to obviously be the number one pick. And then when he's available for 4, 5, 6, the team's like, oh, shit, we didn't do our homework on those guys. We spent the time spending it on other positions that we expected to be available. That's sometimes when it could get freaky. So there's a warning there. Matt P says the JJ decision is similar in a way to ABT, where the team need to make a decision on the 50 option. That's a great way to put it, Matt P. And in the same way, Jet fans were like, "Oh, you got to accept that ABT when he's healthy, he's great, but when he's healthy, that's the kicker." So 100%, that's the best comp you can make, Matt P. And that's true. Like, would the Jets accept this? It's fully guaranteed. That's a lot of moolah. And his was like $15.3 million, if I remember correctly off the top of the head, which he's about to enter this upcoming season. It will be the 5th-year option on that contract. It's not so simple. But Jet fans, we loved ABT. I don't know a lot of people that didn't like ABT, and Jermaine Johnson too. Phil says Shador is no Bo Callahan. All right. I like the Draft Day movie, so anytime we can make references to it, it's pretty great. J-Boy says 3-4-4-3. How about a defense that could do anything at any time, depending on what the other team is doing? Well, that would be wonderful, sure. Yeah. An amorphous-like defense. Rex Ryan ran a lot of that, where they were kind of standing around, moving around, all that kind of stuff. NY Jets FL says Wilkes runs a lot of nickel coverage. Oh, that's interesting. June says, I'd let him play the year out. He's talking about Jermaine. And if he balls out, I'll make a good offer. And then you could get in the territory where, hey, man, you didn't believe in me then. Now things are off base. Could be that. For instance, DJ Reed said the Jets had a chance to offer him a and again, I think a lot of Jet fans have just accepted the fact that DJ Reed is gone. Excuse me. A lot of Jet fans have accepted that DJ Reed is just gone. But DJ said before the year that he would have loved an extension from the Jets, but they didn't give it to him. And then once we got into the season, it was one of those where, well, too late, sucker. I'm hitting free agency. So that could be, I don't know, Jermaine. But that could be the same thing with Jermaine. If the Jets decline the 5th-year option, he may go, F you, buddy. Like, I'm out. He seems to be a Jet through and through, but if they decline the 5th-year option, well, maybe he'll use that as motivation, I guess. But Zoink Nation says, how do we feel about blowing up the team and trading back? I'm sure Glenn's going to want his guys. Blowing up the team, I'm curious what that means. Like, we're not going to sell off all the copper pipe in the house. Like, we're not Sauce, Garrett, those kind of guys all getting out of here. No, I wouldn't say that. Trading back, oh, that's an option. You need 2 to tango, of course, but you're at 7. You want to trade back a few slots because you have a lot of needs. Okay. The Jets need a new right tackle. All right. If Rodgers isn't back, you need a wide receiver 2 because Devontae Adams gone. And you probably need a wide receiver 3 because, like, where's Malachi Corley? You go on defense, obviously you need 1 million defensive tackles. There's no question. You're going to need a new linebacker. Jamie and Sherwood probably gone. Your safety room imploded. You need new safeties. DJ Reed, who you replacing him with? Is that Quantez Stickers? You're probably bringing other guys in the room there. So there's so many needs that they have to address those. I'm not sure about blowing up the team. I don't even know what that means. But if that means shipping off like every copper pipe in the house of any level of attractiveness, I'm not quite there. Sean O'Connell, David goddamn Putney. Get Putney. Where'd that come from? We don't have to tell you. Give me Putney. He's like, all right, you bastard. I love that movie. That movie's terrific. I love the draft, and I love that movie. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines, baby, and we could debate more about this Jermaine Johnson action and so much more coming up right here on Boy Green Daily. Again, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Once we get you, let me make sure where we're at right now before I say anything else. Let's see where we're at on subscribers at the start of business here on the show. Let's see. It's loading up here. All right, we are still 146 subscribers away. Once we get to 7,500 subscribers, we're going to give away an autographed piece of New York Jets memorabilia signed by 2 former New York Jets first-round picks. That will go to 1 lucky subscriber. It's free to subscribe to the channel. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. If you're currently watching right now on Facebook or Twitter, open up a new tab on your phone real quick. Open up a new tab on the computer and go over to youtube.com/boygreen25 and hit the subscribe button. That's the optimal way to enjoy the show. And like I said, you can make sure if you're subscribed that all of these videos and shows are getting delivered right to you, so you don't have to organically try to find it on YouTube or something. It goes right to you. And you have a chance to win free crap. It's a great combination, baby. So make sure you do that. Again, we're 146 subscribers away from getting to 7,500. We're trying to chase 10,000 subs. And every mile marker, I'm going to be doing fun giveaways at 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000. Then a really big one we'll do for 10,000 subscribers. So, folks, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can join the Boy Green Coffee Club down below. It says join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. It's in the YouTube description of every video. It's only $2.99, baby. Go ahead and do that, and you'll be in the running for our signature football. Okay, it's Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson. Everybody's on that thing. And then also a salute to service Nike long sleeve and the Jets laser engraving. All of that will go to a lucky person who purchased a raffle ticket. And then the autographed memorabilia will go to someone that was just a subscriber on the show. So good luck, everybody. We'll keep all that rolling. Let's open up the phone lines next, right here on the Bleepin' Show, baby. Hip, hit my music.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green.
I appreciate that, Hep. All right, let's go to this. I see we've got some memberships being gifted, baby. Let's get in the mood. Let's make it rain memberships on Super Bowl week. Our number one Austrian Jet fan with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Yeah, baby.
Here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Yeah, we damn straight we are, baby. And here are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan, Aston Langley, TX, Nicholas Gonzalez, K9 Cohen, and Harris Bornstein. You guys are now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan who got 5 more raffle tickets to the contest, baby. He's been on the precipice of winning a bunch of these. I think he may be well on track to win this one. We'll see what happens by the end of the month. Again, we'll be collecting raffle tickets throughout the entire month of February. And then on March 1st, we'll draw for the winner for that signature football, baby. So we friggin' appreciate it. All right, let's go to the phone lines here on the channel. We've got NY Jets FL. Or no? NY Jets FL? Okay, we'll try to come back to you. It looks like you're having a camera issue there. All right, let's go to our next card there. We got June, the GM, here on the program. What's up, June?
What's going on, Mr. Paul? So it's interesting about Jermaine Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you remember a great player that came out of the University of Florida State named Sam Coward.
Sure, yeah.
He was a linebacker. To me, at the time, when he was healthy in Buffalo, he was the best linebacker in football to me. And he tore his Achilles. And he eventually played for the Jets after that, but he was never the same. He lost a step. And the Achilles injury, to me, is probably the worst injury you can get. You better off tearing your ACL than getting an Achilles.
Oh, no doubt.
To bank on Jermaine Johnson, love the kid. This is business, never personal. $14.5 million when we got contracts with Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall,
Sure.
AVT. We got a lot of people we got to pay because Joe Douglas drafted so good, right?
Right, yeah.
So this is the reality. I'll let him play out the year, and if he does amazing, we offer him a competitive contract. And if he signs, he signs. He doesn't, he doesn't. That's NFL. That's not we can't pay it. We can't guarantee 14 points. You know how much Wilson is gonna demand from us? Garrett Wilson, although he's not as physical as I would like him to be, obviously top 10 receiver talent. This dude's gonna want a bag. You know the receiver. He's already starting to show me diva ways, little by little. It's coming out. All the best receivers are divas, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
How much money you think Garrett Wilson's gonna demand from us?
Now, maybe I don't. My gut tells me 30 mil per year.
Oof.
I think on a crazy deal. That's what I think. Other people told me I'm too rich. That it's ultimately going to settle on like a Devontae Smith 25-ish million. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll see on the debate train, but I think Garrett's going to push for a high number. And we'll see if Darren Mucci is proactive in giving it to him this offseason. I said, oh, boy, it was funny. I had that conversation with Jeremy Fowler like a week ago, and I'm like, oh, boy, man, Darren Mucci, you got to be proactive. You got to pay Garrett. That make a lot of sense, I said. And Jeremy stops me and goes, well, I wouldn't say it makes a lot of sense. I'd say both sides would want to push it further. And I said, oh, do tell. And he said that he thinks Garrett is going to play out this year. He's going to get the fifth-year option exercised, of course, in early May. And then he plays out this year. He's got 1 year left in his deal. Then he asks for the bag after, hopefully for Garrett, another crazy-ass year. And I said, oh, shit, okay. And then he's like, the Jets, no other team outside of Devontae Smith, apparently for the Eagles, no other team has paid receivers after their third year. He said Justin Jefferson had to wait. Jamar Chase had to wait. He's like, my assumption would be Garrett would have to wait. I'm like, oh, wow, fascinating. So, excuse me, that was a different take I hadn't heard because a lot of Jet fans have just sort of assumed that, oh, Garrett's got to get the bag this offseason. Maybe not.
It's interesting because, okay, when you're mentioning names like Justin Jefferson, Chase, Brown in Philly, those are the elite of the elite, right? Those are horses. Now, to Garrett Wilson's defense, he hasn't had the best quarterback play, so it's hard for him to put up those elite numbers. Does he have elite potential? Yes. He drops some key balls at times from getting hit because he's not that physical. But in the open field, I think he's probably the best in the league in the open field.
Oh, yeah.
You can't compare him to Devon. I don't know why they would compare him to Devontae Smith because Devontae Smith is the number 2 on his team. Garrett's a horse. He's the number 1, regardless of what Adams did. He's going to want $30 million. He's going to want a big bag. And then you think about AVT, right? I'm not paying AVT. I'm not paying him. I don't care how good he played. This dude was injured just as much as he played. I can't pay him a bag. And then you're talking about Sauce. So how much corners get? Corners ask for a big bag too.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm looking at Devontae Smith, just a random thing here. I'm looking at Devontae Smith's numbers, and they are eerily similar to Garrett Wilson. The only thing that's really different is Devontae Smith's been scoring a lot more touchdowns, which take that for what you will, being there in Philly. But the numbers are eerily similar. The only things that are off are Devontae Smith hasn't gotten 1,000 yards every year of his career, and Garrett's gotten a lot more catches, but maybe that's by virtue of him being a number 1 receiver and Devontae not. But that's sort of interesting. But to your point on AVT, he's under contract, obviously, for this upcoming 2025 season. That's on that crazy $15.3 million fully guaranteed fifth-year option the Jets exercised last year. And then the Jets have to make a decision, obviously, on whether they're keeping him long-term. I'd have to see another fully healthy season for me to go, okay, ABT, here's the bag, baby. Right now, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it's just this is what happens when you have young, talented players. You can't pay everybody. And then you have to think about, do these players fit the vision of Muji and Glenn moving forward, right? Maybe Jermaine Johnson does fit what Glenn wants, and they give him the bag. It's all about fit now because we don't know what type of players they drafting. Are they drafting a more physical type team? Or are they going with a team that is more catered to speed, somewhere in between? We don't know anything right now. I did want to bring up this point, Mr. Poor, that I'm very happy that they're cleaning house in the corporate.
Let's give the update, I guess, right? Because yesterday on the show we just talked about the first couple, but Darren Muji has been firing people left and right. He's just been doing some Celebrity Apprentice action. So yeah, for those who have missed it, here is everybody. So shout out to Rich Samini here. Let me get through all these guys because they're firing people left and right. So we mentioned Greg Nejma and David Sosey. Those are the two people we mentioned that were fired yesterday.
They were there like 16 years, right? One of them?
Correct. Greg Nedjma had been there for 16 years. And again, the Jets' playoff drought is 14 years. So he's 99% of his career with the Jets has been the playoff drought. So how did he last that long? That's a different question, I guess. And David Sosey's been there since 2017, 2018. So he's survived multiple regimes. That's pre-Joe Douglas. So both of those dudes were fired. We talked about that on the show yesterday. Head strength and conditioning coach Mike Nicolini. He's for those who don't know who that is, he's the tatted up guy with the short hair that runs the Jets, again, strength and conditioning program. And he's also the holdback coach, or was, for Robert Saleh on the sideline when Robert went crazy. This was the guy responsible for yanking him back. So he went there too. And Phil Savage currently has been reassigned. He was the interim GM. He was then a senior personnel executive. That was kind of the role before his GM stint of holding down the fort. And now he's listed as consultant. So it sounds like he's going to stay through at least the draft and maybe more. So, yeah.
I like it. You know what? I'll fire the maintenance man. I'll fire the janitor. I don't give a damn. You know why? We need to get all that energy up out of there, man. Or that loser mentality. Why would you take this is the Jets? Why would you keep a dude 16 years? What are you contributing? You're not helping the vision. I like what they're doing. Let's clean house. Let's start over. And you know, like I said, it's early to talk draft. But man, I mean, if Shedeur Sanders is there at numbers, he's accurate. He was on the run, no offensive line in Colorado. Let's get that out the way. Show me one quarterback in NFL history that has been great with a suspect offensive line. It doesn't exist. That's why Andrew Luck left. That boy was sipping in the middle of the night like this from the pain in his body. Yeah. Let's get that out the way. So if Sanders is there at 7, send me. I'm running up 4.3 speed. I'm giving him a hug, and I'll cry in tears because I think that Sanders, mark my words, is going to be, if he lands in the right situation, one of the best young quarterbacks in football.
Oh, wow.
That's my take,
Okay, so you're on the Shedeur Sanders train. Okay.
I get to play the pressure. I mean, think about the pressure, right? Everybody talks about he had it made. Did he? Being Deion Sanders' son, that's called having it made, having to come from a junior college.
I was just about to say, right. He went to Jackson State. He didn't go to Alabama immediately because he was Deion Sanders' kid.
No, and then it's not like he took over, like Deion took over Alabama, took over Texas A&M. No, they went to Colorado, but they were 1-15 or something crazy like that. So I like the kid. I think he's NFL ready. He's been training with Peyton Manning for years, man. You know what I'm saying? Manning, Brady. He's been surrounded by greatness. I think the kid's a winner. I'm a big fan of Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, I like the Shedeur take. June, thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's talk about Shedeur for a second. Again, if you look at the draft, right, the Jets pick at 7, so 6 players are going to go before the Jets. That's a math, baby. See, there you go, math teacher. Never thought I'd use that on a Boy Green Daily episode. You're welcome. Okay, so you go through the 6. Now, I can totally see Cleveland passing on quarterback because they're just effed right now. Myles Garrett wants out. Deshaun Watson, you're stuck with for another couple years because of contractual. So I could see Cleveland passing on a quarterback and going like Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, or whoever the best is. I would imagine Abdul Carter, if they move on from Myles Garrett, they'll need a new pass rusher. So I could imagine them doing that. Tennessee, it's a little harder to see them passing on a quarterback because their quarterback situation, I mean, is terrible. Will Levis is god-awful. But let's just say they're like, hey, man, we're not going to just take a quarterback. Let's go there. So Tennessee is, they could take a quarterback. Cleveland, I'm like, I could see them passing. Okay. They go to Giants. I can't see them passing on a quarterback, especially with all the heat where they are right now. I can't see the Giants passing on a quarterback. Now let's keep going. Let's keep going on the list, right? New England, obviously, they're not taking a quarterback. They got Drake May. Jacksonville, obviously, they're not taking a quarterback. They got Trevor Lawrence. Now you have Vegas. Oh, yeah. I could totally see them taking a quarterback. And as a matter of fact, I lean towards them taking a quarterback unless the top 2 are gone. So we've got oh, hell yeah on Giants. Oh, hell yeah on Raiders. Tennessee. Cleveland. That's 2 slams and then you have the Jets at 7. So it just seems really hard to believe that Shedeur or Cam Ward, for that matter, would land on the Jets' lap. But again, that the point of June's thing was, hey, if he fell, Shedeur, he'd be interested. There again, it's an NFL mock draft. My apologies, I haven't written about it yet, so I don't know. I can't remember the name of whoever the individual was that mocked Shedeur to the Jets. Might have been Eric Edholm. But he said, I think Shador is going to slip and slide all over the place. So maybe so. And I will just use this as the backing from it that Tom Pelissero joined Rich Eisen. Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network insider. He joined Rich Eisen 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. And Tom Pelissero said that scouts are split on Shador and really this entire quarterback class, but specifically Shador. Some people have him as a first round quarterback, and a lot of people don't. And then will just the need, supply, demand of quarterback just naturally push this guy up? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, everyone's split here. I'm seeing guys like Brandon A saying, don't let your hate for Deion cloud your judgment of Shador. I love Deion, so that's probably for other people. Interesting. Very curious. People are on and off the Shador train, it seems. Yes. We can bring this up on the show. This came up yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is on a golf course. He's out golfing in Phoenix. Shout out to Golf Today. It's a Golf Channel news place, and they're out there at the WM Phoenix Open, which is a golf open, and Aaron Rodgers is out there. And here's the quick answer. I'll throw this up on the screen on Aaron Rodgers. This is from old Aaron. We're going to put this up on the screen. Here we go. Here is, let me make sure I get her name right. This is Kira Dixon asking Aaron Rodgers a question. This is just the Jets version of it. She asked him a lot of stuff about golf and Super Bowl and stuff, but this is specifically the Jets-related Q&A here. Here we go.
And then for you, I know you have a lot of opportunity to think through in this off season. To give us a little bit of insight into your thought process.
I'm just enjoying my time right now. I've talked with the Jets. We'll figure things out. We figure them out.
We appreciate the time.
Interesting. So let me just replay that real quick. When she asked him a question.
I'm just enjoying my time right now. I've talked with the Jets. Now, some people have been bashing me on social media saying, Paul, duh, he's talked with the Jets. Aaron Glenn said he's talked to the Jets. But just the way he said it seems like, oh, yeah, I've talked to the Jets. And then he says to the guy, we'll figure things out. We figure them out.
We'll figure things out when we figure them out. So he's talked to the Jets. We'll figure things out when we figure things out. What does that mean? People have asked me, Paul, what's your interpretation of that? What does that mean? To me, and I've heard people say both. Clear. He sounds some fans have tweeted at me, he sounds disengaged. He's totally out. Other people said, it sounds like he's in. It sounds like they've talked and they got to figure things out. Because why wouldn't Aaron Glenn just shut the door? If they've talked, both sides have talked. Aaron Glenn initially said he texted AG or AG said he texted Aaron, and now Aaron Rodgers saying they've talked. If they've had the important talk, then what's the holdup here? So to me, the reason, it's almost like, when a flag happens on the field and then the officials are reviewing it, and the longer they're reviewing it, we start saying, does that mean they're trying to find the line marker? What's the reason for the delay? Well, the reason for the delay potentially here with Rodgers, now this is speculation, Chad, I got the speculation hat on, is Aaron said he'd be open to a pay cut. And for Aaron to come back, you got to rework the contract. And if you're reworking that contract, you're probably keeping Devontae. And if you're keeping Devontae, you got to rework his contract. So there's a lot of hoopla going on. So maybe that's the holdup. That, hey, Aaron's coming back, but we got to rework the Aaron contract. Okay, Devontae obviously is now coming back because he's hooked up with Aaron. Okay, we got to rework that contract. And there's a lot of hoopla going on of trying to figure out what it is. So, or this is a bunch of nothing, and Aaron is just telling us what we already knew. But I would tell you this for the people that are complaining on Aaron dragging his feet here. Again, the Jets hold the power here. If they just want to cut Aaron Rodgers, they could cut Aaron Rodgers right now.
We appreciate the time.
You bet.
And there you go. Okay, sorry, let me mute that. Sorry. But the fact of the matter is the Jets don't need to wait for Aaron. They could do whatever they want right friggin' now. They control the cards. They could cut him. They could keep him. They could do anything. They do that. They don't have to wait for Aaron. It's not some floating thing from Green Bay where Aaron wanted to go in a darkness retreat, figure out what he wanted to do, and the Jets are on the edge of their seat. Geez, I hope he lets us know. No, they don't have to wait for anything.
And I've seen the comment section. Right? I've seen the comment section of everybody saying, hey, Nathaniel Hackett's running the ship. He is still on the Jets, people are saying in the comment section. Well, I'll tell you this. Got the Jets coaching staff right here on the New York Jets website. And as it's currently listed, Hackett is not listed on the Jets coaching staff website. He is not on it. If you go to the New York Jets coaching staff right now, Nathaniel Hackett is unlisted. And here's the thing I'll do right now. This will be interesting. I haven't done this yet. Let me see if this works. We'll find this out live. It doesn't even look like I could find his New York Jets profile on the website, because that's how we've known a lot of these people that the Jets have fired are no longer in the building. You've clicked on it and then it says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we cannot reach that." Yeah, he's not even listed on Google right now, so you can't even click it. So very interesting. And yeah, Connor Long was the one that shared. Who was that? I think he shared the Hackett one that he's no longer listed. Was that true? Yeah, there's Connor. Hey, New York flight Jets talk. I'm pretty sure Connor was the one who posted on Twitter that he was no longer listed on the team website. I think that was Connor. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he's not listed on the Jets website right now at all. But there's been no official announcement of he's gone. Like Todd Downing's gone. He just left to New England. So a lot of the coaches have either been fired, they're just street free agents, or they're just hanging on. So interesting. So we'll see. Maybe Aaron keeps him around in some other role. But again, right now he's not listed on the staff. You would think if he's hanging out in the mix, like it's possible that he's back, he would be listed on this. Hey, again, I guess I'll flip the screen so you guys can see it here. I mean, here is the Jets coaching staff list right now. Here it is. Let's pull it up. Whoop. Here we go. Aaron Glenn, head coach. All right. Chris Banjo, special teams coordinator. Nice. Offense coordinator, Tanner Engstrand. Okay. Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator. All right. Assistant coaches, Sean Jefferson, wide receivers coach. Okay. Junior Taylor, an offensive assistant fellowship coach. Okay. Nathaniel Willingham, assistant linebackers coach. All right. Walter Kuzmarike, offensive assistant. Okay. And then that's it, folks. And then in memory of Greg Knapp, a.k.a. Napper. God bless. R.I.P. To Greg Knapp. And that's the list. That's the full list of the Jets coaching staff. So obviously they still have a lot to fill out, both publicly being announced. Obviously there's been reported moves, but obviously those are not official yet of them being on a staff. So I'll be sort of curious. So I don't know on Hackett. He's not listed. Everyone says Hackett's sleeping with the fishes. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think he's back, but interesting. Yeah, there you go. This is from Connor Long. Let me pull that back up. Connor Long's comment here. Yeah, BG, I tweeted that the other day. I don't think we'll get an opportunity next year in the NFL unless he wants to be a quality control coach or maybe assistant quarterback coach. He's speaking of Hackett. MFC Hackett opted to stay last year. That's true. When he was demoted, he could have left straight up, and then he chose to stick around to help Downing because he had a relationship with Downing. So there you go. Good comment there from MFC. But we'll see. Again, I still think this decision is coming here in the next handful of weeks. Ooh, Dre Greenlaw's a linebacker option. He might be pricey, and obviously he's been banged up. We'll see. He is on the ESPN top 50 free agents list. Dre Greenlaw is higher than Jamian Sherwood. Now, that doesn't mean that's one person's opinion, I guess. But I think Jamian. Now, here's the thing. Inside linebackers, unless your name is Roquan Smith or Fred Warner, you don't get paid a lot of money. Those guys are making $20, $19 million per year on crazy deals. Like Quincy Williams, he's making $6 million per year. Now, he didn't have the first team All-Pro when he signed that contract, but I think Jamian's going to get a decent deal. Now, will it be from the Jets? Will it be from someone else? That'll be sort of curious. I like Jamian a lot, but we'll see if the Jets feel the same way. Yes, Todd Downing went to the Patriots. I believe he's their wide receivers coach. And we're getting a couple other guys that are slipping through. Tony Dews, Tony Oden. Who else am I missing? Aaron Whitecott went to the Cowboys. Yeah, a bunch of guys are just kind of spreading off, going to different places. A lot of the assistants are gone. But there you have it. All right, everybody. We'll call it a show early. I see you guys talking about the snow out there. I'll have to be doing that myself. We got 600 people in the room. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. Let's keep growing to see if we could get to those free subscriber giveaways and more. I'm very much looking forward to that. Appreciate it. And we'll get to that as well. We will see you guys later. We'll see if we have any other interviews potentially coming up here on the channel. So we'll keep you guys posted. But like the video, hit subscribe. And we'll be back on tomorrow morning. And guys, make sure you check out. I want to give a quick shout out here to Jake Asman. He's been killing it at the with his Super Bowl coverage. He had an interview with Brandon Marshall. That was a lot of fun. Let me see who else has he had. Connor Rodgers on the show yesterday. That was great. Thomas Morstead was on the show. That was awesome. Today he's having Trevor Sikkema, my boy, from PFF. That's great. He has John Jastrzemski coming on today too. So give a big salute to Jake Asman, who's absolutely killing it down there at the Super Bowl. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take friggin' care.